all eyes on President Cyril Ramaphosa after Tourism Minister Sisulu publicly contradicted a statement by his office which announced that she'd apologized for controversial comments made about the country's judges. A total of 4 statements have gone back and forth on the issue. That's in just the last 24 hours. Now, in the latest one, Sisulu has accused Ramaphosa's media team of deliberately misrepresenting details of her meeting with the president. The minister claims she met with the president at his request in Cape Town this week, and that he took issue with her views on the judiciary and proposed that a third person or intermediary should assist with a particular line that he found offensive. The minister says she and the president concluded that meeting on good terms, and that Ramaphosa called her yesterday and read the amended sentence that he had found to be problematic. Sisulu also says that while she respects the office of the president, she is troubled by the statement from Ramaphosa's office last night, which said that she had conceded that she made a mistake and apologized. The presidency then, for its part, has not withdrawn its initial statement announcing the apology by the minister, even though she has not said she's sorry in 2 statements subsequent to that. Let's talk more about the situation then around the tourism minister and the president. Speak to political analyst Elvis Masora. Elvis, a very good evening to you. So some are saying that the minister is basically daring the president to fire her so she can position herself strategically as a contender for the presidency of the ANC when it goes to conference later this year. Is that how you are reading it?
Yeah, firstly, my best compliments to you, Tembekile, and all the viewers of Newzroom Afrika.
Good to see you, Elvis.
That's great. Yeah, it's allowed me, Tembekile, to confess that in my career as a political analyst, and even basing on the history of the ANC itself, or our post-1994 political trajectory, it is for the first time to witness such the gravest insubordination by a cabinet minister towards the President of the Republic. It's for the first time in the history of our post-1994 democracy that a cabinet minister can display such grave insubordination of the state president. And I don't know what will happen, because as a nation, we don't have any precedent in that regard. It is for the first time that a cabinet minister willfully and intentionally decide to display such grave insubordination of her own state president. And I don't know what will happen. That's why there are growing calls in the ANC for the president, to remove the kid gloves and apply iron fist in dealing with Sisulu, because it is quite clear that she's there in the president. She's there in the head of state, and obviously the nation expects the president to take a befitting action in relation to that.
Well, others have said that the president perhaps would not fire the minister, because if he would do that, he'd be seen as someone who is clamping down on not just dissent, but someone who's challenging his views, especially in light of the ANC conference. So is this a situation for Ramaphosa of damned if you do, damned if you don't?
Yeah, I think people who are saying that, Tembekile, are overly underestimating the gravity and the magnitude of this insubordination. Remember, Cyril Ramaphosa is not only the president of the ANC, but is the head of the state. He's the leader of the Republic of South Africa. He has taken an oath of office to swear that he shall at all times do all that shall advance the goodwill of the Republic. So in that kind of regard, more than 60 million South Africans are vesting their hopes and ideals on the shoulders of the president to do which that is right. And I don't think there is any citizen in the country who will expect, particularly a cabinet minister, to display that grave insubordination of the head of state to a point whereby it is quite clear that she is daring the president to say, I dare you to act. And that's when the nation will expect the president to prove to the nation that indeed he's the leader and the head of the Republic of South Africa. This one has got nothing to do with party politics, but to protect the sovereignty of the constitutional state of South Africa. You can't expect, remember, cabinet ministers are appointed by the president. They serve at the pleasure and behest of the president. But when a cabinet minister shows that grave insubordination of the president, obviously the nation expects the president to remove the kid gloves and apply iron fist in dealing with that kind of a situation.
Mm-hmm. News 24 tonight is reporting that its sources who are at a meeting of the National Executive Committee are saying that Minister Sisulu should in fact be hauled before the Integrity Commission for defying President Ramaphosa. Would that be sufficient as far as the party addressing the events of the last 24 hours?
You know, Tembekile, I think in my career as a political analyst, this kind of a situation, it doesn't qualify to be phrased as a defiance. It is far much graver than that, because a defiance and insubordination are two different things. That's why I use the correct concept, grave insubordination. Because defiance is tolerable. There are measures where you can tolerate defiance. But in this kind of, imagine a situation when the presidency issues, you know, a communique to the nation to say that the president met with the minister and the president reprimanded the minister tendered the apology. But after that, the very same minister come to the public and say, no, that is pure lies. That is reckless of the president to say that. Imagine a cabinet minister saying that of their own state president. That's why I'm saying we must refer to that action as grave insubordination of the head of state. And but the nation obviously expects the head of state to reinstill confidence in the presidency to show that indeed the president was communicating the truth to the nation. Because what Lindiwe Sisulu is saying, even through a spokesperson, is that actually the presidency, particularly Ramaphosa, is lying to the nation about the briefing they made to the nation.
But the minister then, in her official statement today, does not say that the president is lying. She, in fact, is accusing the president's media team of deliberately misrepresenting what happened in that meeting that she held with President Ramaphosa. Is that less of a blow then, because she's not saying he directly is lying?
Maybe let's simplify matters for the viewers to understand here. When we speak about the presidency, when we say the presidency communicate to the nation, they communicate at the behest of the president. Obviously, the presidency, I'm referring to the spokesperson, I'm referring to the communication team in the presidency. They always communicate what the president say to them. Each and every person understands that. So when the presidency comes to the nation to say, this is a communication from the president, it's a communication from the head of state. Then when you label that communication as pure lies or mischievous, actually you are referring to the president as being dishonest and mischievous. So we must understand, when the presidency communicates to the nation, it is the president who is speaking to the nation.
The presidency has not responded to this latest statement. So as things stand, you and I and the rest of the country don't know which version of events is actually true. Should the president come out, or even minister in the presidency, Mondli Kungubele, come out to finally address the country and take questions on this issue so that it can be wrapped up once and for all?
You know, I strongly suspect, because it is for the first time in our post-1994 democratic history that this kind of a thing happens. I think maybe the presidency is baffled, if not puzzled, beyond imagination. That's why they've been thrown into silence, because it is for the first time that the union buildings has to encounter this kind of an unusual incident, particularly within cabinet. And I'm not surprised when the presidency decided to remain silent, because they are baffled. They are so puzzled. They are asking themselves, is this real? Is this just a nightmare or a movie? Because it has never happened. Remember, like I said, Tembekile, cabinet ministers are appointed directly by the state president. They serve at the behest of the state president. But a minister daring the president like that, I'm not surprised why even the president is silent, because they are baffled beyond imagination.
But should there not be more leadership? Because if this continues, it takes away attention from the various other issues in this country that require attention. In a few days, we're expecting the president to deliver the State of the Nation address. We need to begin to have conversations about the budget in February, yet here we are, stuck on a back and forth now that was set off by an opinion piece and simply won't go away.
Yeah, my strongest belief, Tembekile, is that at this point in time, I think the president is drawing a line in the sand. I think right now they are finally assessing the gravity and the magnitude of this insubordination, and at the same time they are determining an appropriate consequence management. I believe that's what the president is doing right now, because there is no any self-respecting presidency that can allow this kind of grave insubordination to persist. But right now, I believe the President Ramaphosa is drawing the line in the sand and say enough is enough. I wouldn't be surprised when the president or the presidency issue a very appropriate and a befitting consequence management, item that will respond to exactly what is happening.
Elvis Masora, good to speak to you. Elvis is a political analyst speaking to us tonight about the issues around the tourism minister, Lindiwe Sisulu, who's publicly basically refused to apologize for comments that she made about the judiciary, which were termed by some members of the judiciary, in fact, including the acting Chief Justice, as an attack, even though her boss, the president, at this time last night was saying they'd met and she had indeed conceded that she'd erred and accepted that she needed to apologize. So we'll wait to see how then the chips fall from here.